Imagine that you're working every single day, you're waking up early, you're being productive, you're doing all this stuff, and you're doing it for an incredibly long time. Then 1, 2, or even 3 days come where you're just absolutely not in that productive mood anymore. You've lost that motivation, you've lost that discipline. You get into this rut. Me personally, over winter break, I have had one of the most difficult times being productive because I had all this time to enjoy myself, and everyone was saying that I could. It's winter break, like Christmas is coming up, it's the holidays, I have this whole break off from school. Why do I need to do anything? Why would I need to exercise? Why would I need to try and work on certain things? And I was pretty much in a slump for 2 whole weeks. So in this video, I'm going to show you how we can get out of this rut and start working on ourselves and start being productive for long ends. The first thing that we need to look at is why this keeps happening to us. We are used to comfort throughout our entire lives. And once we start to break that comfort, once we start to put ourselves into that uncomfortable place that we're not familiar with, we start to resort back to the comfort and we start to miss it. We try to do everything we can, subconsciously, to try and get back into that comfort that we used to have. It's so weird why we do this and why we try to seek all this comfort, because imagine if you put in so much time to actually achieve something and to develop a new goal and to develop a new skill. After developing this new skill and after achieving this great goal, you are going to have a future in comfort. Right now, in that moment, you just put yourself into an uncomfortable moment, and then you succeeded by achieving that, and now you have more time to enjoy yourself. Simply, if we push ourselves through that uncomfort, we will find comfort at the very end by achieving that goal. But I want you to understand, you are still going to have an off day. I still have them, and I'm still making these videos. Everyone that you see online, and everyone that's saying, oh, I'm having this, they all have off days. Everyone does. Even David Goggins. It's a human thing to have one off day that is worse than the other. And hey, maybe it's a really bad day, but maybe it's just, a simple offset. So please understand, you had an off day, you had an off week, whatever. Move on. The second thing that we need to do is find out what made us start working on ourselves. What made you want to start helping yourself, want to start improving yourself, want to start making a better version of yourself? Look towards those experiences and look towards what brought you motivation. For me, it was kind of a blank canvas. I moved away from home and now I moved to a new place. I had to start at a new school, I had to make new friends. I had to do everything that was pretty much completely new to me. But most of all, it was a change in environment. And because of this change in environment, it gave me the motivation to say, hey, since I've changed my environment, since everything around me has changed, I'm going to change and adapt with it. This was the motivation and this was the experience for me to start coming out of my shell more and start exploring new things. If I was still in that environment that I wasn't very productive, I would not be the person I am today. Back then, I would just get home from school and then play video games, and that was pretty much my entire life, all the way back then. But after this sudden environment change, it changed me as well, and it made me adapt and made me start to learn and challenge myself more. So what I want you to do is search back, go all the way back in your memory, and try to remember what made you start to try and work on yourself. And if you haven't even found anything to start working on yourself, maybe this is your first time trying to improve, then use this to carry you on. Use this as motivation to push you to become a better self. The third thing that we need to do is analyze our emotion. Let me ask you a simple question. Do you feel happier when you are productive? Imagine yourself in one of those slumps that you've had. You were probably watching Netflix the whole day or watching YouTube, eating whatever you wanted, laying in bed pretty much the entire day. Didn't do anything, probably scrolled on your phone a bunch, and then maybe you slept for like 12 hours. Then imagine you actually being productive. You woke up, you started working out, you started to eat healthy, you started to run outside and go outside, walk your dog, start working on something you're truly passionate about, start building a new skill. Would you feel happier if you were actually trying to be productive, or would you feel happier laying in bed doing absolutely nothing? So simply ask yourself this question every time you get into one of those ruts. Am I happy with myself right now? When you ask this question, you're going to be like, damn, I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why I would do this because it makes me unhappy. The main reason we get into these ruts is because we're bored. Naturally, we are very comfortable people, and we just start to seek all this comfort because, well, it passes the time. We don't want to try and do that productive thing over and over and over again. We miss that instant gratification instead of working for it. Why would I want to work for it when I could just scroll on social media and do all this other stuff which makes me happy already? And obviously that doesn't make you happy, like we just talked about. When we are going through the difficulties, we want to fall back on the cushion. We want to fall back on the bed and just call it a day. But that is where we always lose. You have such a minimum amount of life to actually enjoy yourself and to actually try to achieve something. Even though it sounds difficult to put yourself in that uncomfort, and it doesn't sound fun, but actually it is. When I'm taking cold showers, I hate it. I'm not enjoying myself. But once I get out of that cold shower, once I get out of that discomfort, I feel happy. I feel proud of myself. I feel like I achieved something, and I feel like I did something with my day. Through that wall of uncomfort, there is an abundance of joy. So instead of just relaxing, falling back on the bed and calling it a day, start to try and work on yourself and get out of those slumps. Find the motivation you need to keep going. And once you have this motivation, once you have that reason, you will have a discipline to keep doing it because you have that reason to do it. Like always, my friends, always embrace the journey.